All right, so just starting here on the monthly chart, most people are scared of the higher time frame charts, and actually the most important chart you're ever going to look at when it comes to direction is going to be the monthly chart, because price is following the monthly intention. Now it's creating price delivery on your lower time frames, depending on whether you trade the 15, the 1 hour, the 1 minute. It's going to be building price delivery to support this higher time frame direction. So actually starting from the higher time frame, the monthly, the weekly, the daily, and understanding the overall direction is going to help you to trade and catch more winning trades when you're actually in your sessions. So yeah, this is how I do it. So starting here on the monthly chart, as we can see, we've got this very strong initiation here to the downside, cause that swing breaker structure showing the intention for lower price. If we go back into that initiation, we see we've got doji candle, represents sideways range, followed by initiation there with aggression and speed. Price then run below this low, no extension, run above the high, no extension. We moved into a sideways ranging structure, a new market structure. Then we can see that we have this low here that we can manipulate. We see that we got the new OB trend continuation set up into the low. We initiate in the opposite direction, targeted this liquidity, created at a low price relative to that A to B price range. Price then initiates up, creates the high, low, run above that high, creating that new OB into the mitigation and initiated here in the opposite direction. We rebalanced this A to B leg when we pushed up. That then stretched this A to B leg and we rebalanced that A to B leg here back to the downside. We come back down into the edge and we started to slow down again. Run above the high no extension, run below the low no extension, moved into a sideways ranging structure. We can see that price created a fractal low, shows that turning point, strong rejection of lower prices, showing price doesn't want to continue any lower. And we see the bullish engulfing candle showing the aggression and speed to the upside. And price takes off here, rebalances this A to B leg. Initiated here to the upside, run below that low no extension, run above that high, no extension again into the edge. Again, fractal high shows the turning point. Doji candle shows sideways range, initiation, mitigation, continuation. And the continuation breaks out here to the downside, breaks out this sideways range. And then we react from this green area, which is a sideways range, followed by initiation here to the upside. When we pull back into this range here in the future, this is where we get the reaction here. Then we think about how do we break through, strong rejection of lower prices here when we closed above the line. So we play that new direction in the market up into the edge or into the previous high that we have up here. First of all, we need to rebalance this A to B leg here. So price needs to pull back into the 50% area. What do we have at 50%? We got a doji candle, represents sideways range, followed by initiation there with aggression and speed. When we pull back up here in the future, we started to slow down here. Run above the high no extension, run above the high no extension, strong rejection of higher prices at the point of mitigation, and then we get bearish continuation down into previous low. Took out that previous low, created a fractal low here, which shows that turning point at the sideways range. Then we get a doji candle, range, initiation, mitigation, continuation, run above that high, created a fractal high, which shows that turning point again from the previous sell range, and then we initiate here to the downside, broke out, pullback, continuation. What does that create? Fractal low, shows that turning point at our buy range again. Then price initiates here to the upside, breaks out the sideways range, so moving into that initiation structure, pull back, continuation, pull back, continuation again. What does that create? Fractal high from our previous sell range. So now we're looking for any bearish continuations here to the downside. Simple as that, right? The understanding is that when price is creating these fractals, it's showing price slowing down from previous sell ranges. So if we're slowing down, then we want to be playing that direction. If we're moving aggressively into that direction, or sorry, into that range, what we want to do is wait for the slowdown first and then start to trade continuations away. It's a very simple process. All you have to do is identify ranges on the charts at high prices or low prices and wait for price to tell you that it wants to turn from that location. And then you can trade continuations on the lower time frame. That is literally my process. Down into the weekly. And yeah, let's go through the chart on the weekly. What can we see? We got that new OB trend continuation set up back to the downside, run above that high, strong rejection of higher prices. So we play the new direction in the market into the previous low. Then we reacted from this range initiation, mitigation, and created a fractal low there. Shows that turning point, strong rejection of lower price and bullish engulfing showed that turning point as well. Initiation, range, initiation, mitigation, continuation. Run above the high, strong rejection of higher price, strong price doesn't continue any higher. Bearish continuation back down into the previous low. Once we took out that previous low, we created a fractal low again. Shows that turning point, strong rejection, showing price doesn't want to continue any lower. Initiation, pullback, run above that high, creating that new OB into our range, initiation, mitigation, continuation. And then we take out this low here. Took out the low, created a fractal low. Again, shows a turning point. Doji candle shows sideways range, initiation, mitigation, continuation, bullish continuation up into that high, run above that high. How do we break? Strong rejection, then created a fractal high, shows that turning point, and we took off here in this bearish initiation. Breakout, pullback, continuation, run below this low, strong rejection of lower prices, so we play that new direction here within the market. How do we break above this high? We extended through, showing price wants to trend, so we look for that pullback, continuation, reassess at the new high, break out and extend through, shows price wants to trend, look for that pullback, continuation, and then we break out here, run above that high and have a strong rejection and create a fractal high, so we get some short-term bearish continuations here, which will be a lot of pips because this is a weekly, this is 500 pip move here, and then we move into this range, caused a swing breaker structure, pullback, mitigation, continuation. Now we're coming into our higher time frame sell range. We can see prices starting to slow down. Run above that high no extension, run below that low no extension, run above this high. How do we break? Strong rejection. So we play that new direction down into the edge or into the previous low. That's where we currently are now. We've reacted from the edge, pull back into the range, and potentially this week we're going to see continuation here to the downside into this low. So that's the two things I'm anticipating this week. We're either going to get continuation down into the low that we have here of the range. If that happens, I'm going to continue to sell here for the week. So I'm going to be looking for bearish continuations on the 15. Or if we start to react from here, this buy range that price is currently reacting out from here, then of course we might just move and stay back into the range, and then obviously price just stays contained, which then means that we'll be looking at the edges on the lower time frames. All right, it's very simple, right? Just using the concepts, and the concepts are telling me what to do. Daily chart. On the daily, what can we see? Well, from this point of mitigation here, we saw bullish continuation up into our sell range. We created that bearish trend, run below that low. How do we break? Strong rejection of lower prices from the range, initiation, mitigation, continuation phase here to the upside. And then we can see as prices coming back into the edge of this range, we start to slow down. Run above the high no extension, run above that high no extension, run above that high no extension. A clue that price might want it to move higher is every time we're taking out the lows here, we're not extending through again and we're getting strong rejections. See bullish trend up into the high, run above the high, strong rejection, play bearish continuation in the opposite direction, and then we just see bearish continuation structure here within the market. Of course, now we're now reacting from the edge of this large range that price is currently in now. So this is why we might see some bullish moves here to the upside, possibly at the start of the week as well. But overall, if the intention's lower prices, we're going to eventually see price run and take out this low here to the downside. So that's what I'll be waiting for this week, to see if this reaction here is going to see a move to the upside or a pullback. And then I will be assessing any of these areas for reversals and continuations into this low. That will be my perfect scenario for the week. If price ends up reacting and moving higher here, then so be it, right? Maybe there'll be some buy continuations, but overall, because we're coming from our higher time frame sell range, I want to prioritize sells here within the market. This is our immediate swing high, swing low. Price is either going to target this low or it's going to target this high here as well. So that's our framework, right? That's before we even get into the 15-minute chart. We've already understood exactly what price wants to do for the week. And that is the power of the higher time frames. So now I just go into intraday time frames, 12-hour. And again, I'm just seeing what price is doing, right? We've seen this bullish continuation, reacted from our range, and now we're in this potential continuation phase here to the downside. This high here will be important if price moves higher, because if we extend through this high, price is going to show it wants to trend, so we might see some continuation. If we run this high and don't extend here, that might show that price wants to continue from this area here. So this will be an important high here to understand what price wants to do if we move higher. 4-hour. What can we see on the 4-hour? Again, up into our sell range and just been in this bearish continuation here. We've stretched the leg here to the downside as well. So if price does pull back, this is a potential area where we might see that reversal happening again, which is just one of the concepts inside NJAT. 1 hour, again, just bearish continuation structure here. We had that range breakout. So last week I was looking for sells only. And then now we can just see that price is just running these lows and slowing down, right? Because we're not extending through the lows. And then 15-minute. What can we see on the 15? So when I get down to the 15, all I want to do really is look at the last, couple of days and just read the price action, right? So from here, Run above the high, strong rejection, broke structure here to the downside, showing the intention for lower prices, pull back into this range, initiation, mitigation, continuation, and then we continued in this bearish trend here. We started to slow down when we run below the lows, no extensions, run above the highs here, also no extensions, and then I know CJ caught this sell here to the downside on the 15-minute chart. That was an absolutely amazing trade. Overall, just direction, manipulation, sell order in the session. So keeping it very simple, but that was a great trade from CJ. She's been working with me on the one-to-ones for a while now, and she's extremely good trader on the 15-minute charts. Probably one of the best female traders I've actually ever seen trade my 15-minute system. But yeah, in the continuation now, and we're just starting to slow down, right? Run below the low, no extension. So we're just ranging right now. So start of the week, what we'll be looking for is to see if price maybe pulls back into this area. If we run above that high, which is that 12-hour high, I'll assess what price does at the high for some potential continuation. But price is very clearly slowing down here, right? Moving sideways. So yeah, so that's that for the week. Obviously, we'll see what Monday gives us. But until then, we'll catch up in the charts.